conflicted right now because I did have a spiritual thought ready, and it was on affirmations. And I think after Dale's presentation and the treatment, I'm going to change it. The same Sunday that you gave that song, and I may cry, I did the sermon down at the Life Enrichment Center in Fresno, talking about what had happened and what our response should be to it, and to not get into the vengeance and the hate and the trying to hurt back, to stay with the love, to feel the love, to find that within it, and not to become that which we were so horrified, which is very easy to do when we're in the emotion. After the service, a gentleman pulled me into the room, and this is where it gets teary-eyed. He had belonged to a police force in a big city. There had been a takedown where they took down a guy who had done some really horrendous things. Really, really, really bad. As he walked into the room, the officers who had been there first and saw the bodies, the young children, and the things that had been done, opened the window and threw him out the window, the perpetrator. And at that point, he had that personal decision that we all had after 9/11. How am I going to react to this? What am I going to do? What am I going to propagate through my words and my actions? It was very hard for him, the way he related it, the dark night of the soul that he went through, the internal questioning he had to have about what did he want to be, what did he want to become, knowing that what he chose to do now would make that big a difference. At that point, he quit his job. He couldn't stay there and be part of that and do it in that way. And he had just found new thought recently before that. So he had a good support system, a good spiritual place to go, and a spiritual way to do it. But I think as we look at the world and what's going on in the world today, that these are decisions we're coming up against every day. How are we going to vote? What are we going to write in our blogs? What are we going to put on Facebook? What are we going to gossip about if we gossip? What are we going to continue to do? I see so many things sent around in spam or from friends on with nobody checking it out. It's accepted that if it's printed, it's truth. We're not taking the time in this way that we've speeded up to really be true to ourselves, true to our meanings. If we pass on something that's not true, what does that make us? What have we contributed to? What are we helping to build? I think we do a disservice in many ways. That's one of the downsides of the way things have speeded up. And I talked about the good points before of social media. There's some downsides to it, and I think it's up to us to take a stand somehow for what are we going to support, what are we going to do, and what are we going to believe. So I thank you very much for your treatment. Thank you very much for the prayer and the song, Dale. It was awesome. Thank you.